Home prices in Brantford have dropped 15% in just the last 4 months. This shift in the real estate market is creating some interesting opportunities. If you're already in the housing market and you're thinking about moving up to something bigger or that suits your lifestyle better, this could be a huge opportunity for you. Or if you're a first time home buyer thinking about getting into the market finally, this could be your window. In this video, I want to break down exactly what's happening here in the local real estate market so you can navigate it and make a smart decision. My name's Jeff Thibodeau. I'm a real estate broker with over 17 years experience right here in Brantford, Ontario. I make videos like this every week, analyzing the Brantford real estate market and giving you tips to make smarter moves. So if you need any help at all planning your next buy or sell here in Brantford, all you need to do is reach out. All my contact information is right below in the video description. The goal of this video is to give you all the information you need. If you're thinking about a move in the next 3, 6, or 9 months, now is the time to start planning and put your strategy in place. So let's take a look at where home prices stand as of today. The median sale price right now is $545,000 for a residential property here in Brantford, Ontario. That's a significant drop in just the last 4 months. Plus, it pushes us all the way back to late 2020 pricing. Now, the good news is we're still ahead of pre-pandemic pricing. So if you bought your home in 2019 or earlier, you're still sitting on a good chunk of equity. But if you purchased your home in 2020 or after, things are looking a little rockier. The market has definitely shifted away from the frenzied market of the pandemic to a much more cautious, buyer-centric market now in the end of 2025. So if you're curious how all of this up and down roller coaster over the last few years has affected the value of your home, well, that's where I can come in. I can pull you a quick research report showing you the sale prices all around you and how that affects the value of your home. Just send me a quick call, text, or DM here on YouTube, and I can pull that information for you, no cost or obligation. Now, this slowdown isn't affecting all homes equally. So let's dive in and see which properties are being more affected and which ones are holding their value a little better. The biggest thing to understand is it's mostly the newer construction homes. Think anything built kind of 2010 or after in the newer mass produced subdivisions here in Brantford. These properties have taken the biggest hit. It seems like the rush to purchase these new construction homes from out of town buyers has slowed way down. And now, as those same buyers try to unload those properties, they find themselves above the average or median price point in Brantford, and it's making it much harder to sell these newer and larger homes. On the flip side, some of Brantford's more established and older neighborhoods are actually performing much better. Buyers seem to be choosing more unique properties in more established neighborhoods with wider yards. Buyers are putting a premium on these and they still are moving well, even in a market slowdown. It's really important to consider your situation, the style of home you own, the age of it, and the neighborhood you're in as we create your plan to sell. If you're in one of these newer homes and you've got a larger square footage, we may need a totally different plan than if you're in a more established home at a more entry level price point. These are two completely separate markets. One thing I do for my clients is I'll send them a little neighborhood breakdown so they can understand how their local neighborhood is affecting the value of their home compared to other neighborhoods in Brantford, and also comparing Brantford to its neighboring cities. If this information sounds like it would be useful for you in planning your next move, all you need to do is reach out and I can send you over one of these quick neighborhood reports directly to your inbox. Let's take a look at what actually sold in October. Now, October turned out to be a pretty good month. 127 sales were recorded. Well, we've been hanging around the 100 sales per month level almost all year. That's a 27% increase from just last month, and it's a welcome little boom of sales activity here in the local market. Now, the thing is, this increased energy seems to be happening in the lower price points. Homes priced under $600,000 represent the easiest and lowest, most affordable way to get into a detached home here in Brantford. And they are still flying off the shelves, some of them even receiving multiple bids over asking price. The most desirable types of properties are single family homes of modest sizes and also townhomes being more affordable. There are a couple segments of the market that are completely ice cold. Number one is newer, smaller condominium units, especially in mid to high rise buildings. These were built up during the boom and mostly sold to investor clients. And now those same clients are trying to get out of them, but there are no actual owner occupied buyers for these properties. The new buyer is probably another investor, so it's making them very hard to move right now. On the flip side, homes priced over $1 million in Brantford have slowed right down completely. During the run up, it was normal to see even a regular family home in West Brant sell for over $1 million. But now that that hype has subsided and prices have pulled back a little bit, it's the highest priced, larger homes that are taking the biggest hit and have seen the biggest slowdown. So, the biggest opportunity right now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is for move up buyers. It's quite simple. If you have a home in the more modest, affordable price point, we can still get you a good price and a quick sale on that property. And then you can take your money as a cash buyer up to a higher price point where the market is in favor of the buyers. You literally can win on both transactions in a slower market. So the big question is, well, what happens next? We're here at the beginning of November, staring down the winter market, and everyone's wondering, is this our turnaround time or are things going to get worse before they get better? Well, there are some seasonal effects to our market that happen every year, no matter what's happening in the overall market. And normally, right now, starting in November through about February, we see the number of homes for sale take a dramatic drop. And that's not because a lot of extra homes just sell in the winter, it's because a lot of sellers just give up. Especially around mid to end December, you see a lot of homes that have been for sale all spring, summer, winter finally take their home off the market for Christmas. So we see the inventory numbers retreat, but at the same time, those demand numbers hit their lowest point of the year. We expect all that to play out again this year, but what's a little concerning is right now we have the highest number of homes for sale that we've had in the past decade. With so many homes on the market, it means buyers have a unlimited amount of choice, yet they're still being very picky and only buying the best priced, best valued properties. And this is pulling the sale prices down temporarily. Now we're at an interesting turning point in the market because if the inventory levels stay high through the winter, it will kind of give us a no start to the spring market. You see, the spring market is hot and fast if there's not many homes for sale, because what happens is the buyers tend to come back to the market earlier in the year than the sellers do. But if the buyers show up to the market and there's already 400 homes for sale left over from the winter, it's not going to be a very exciting spring. So the number one indicator I'm watching over the winter is to watch our total inventory number drop. I'd like it to see at least 200 of the 400 homes come off the market in the next 2 months. If we see that, I think we have turned the corner and the market's going to start improving. If, though, so many of these sellers just hang on, leave their homes on the market through the winter, and also some of them discount their prices to get that deal done, we could see an effect where the market actually slows down continuously through the winter and we enter next spring in some of the slowest conditions we've seen in the last decade. This is a very interesting moment to watch, and I would recommend you stay tuned to the channel, hit that subscribe button, or join my email newsletter list because I'm going to be watching this real time. We should know by about mid-December, we'll have a very good indication of what the spring market's going to look like. One of the things my clients appreciate the most about our data-focused relationship is that I can put them in an automated home value update program. So once you're living in your home, you don't have to recalculate everything every month. We can actually send you a new report every single month that tells you what's going on with your home, what's changed in terms of home values, and who in your neighborhood has sold, including the pictures of their home and the sale price. It's a really awesome service. And it's kind of new because just a couple of years ago, we didn't have all this data to release to you. But now that I can actually release this data to you, it makes it so much better for you, the consumer. So if you are sitting in a home right now, wondering what the value is and want to keep an eye on it, like a stock portfolio, then you need to just reach out to me, request this service, and I'll get it all set up for you. No problem. Now, whenever the market changes, we have to change our strategy and approach to get a home sold. And of course, the tactics that worked in the hot market, literally just throw your home on the market, allow no bids for a week, and then see a lineup of buyers. Well, that strategy is not really working anymore. I see a lot of homes still going on the market with one of these 2021 strategies. They're expecting multiple bidders and they get it over asking, but the reality is in that market segment, that plan is just not working. So we need a new plan. And if you're selling your home, here's what you need to focus on. Number one, we need clean and well-presented homes. It really makes me laugh when I browse through the MLS database every morning and I see homes that have completely been let go and no effort's been put into getting them ready for the market. Now, this strategy is fine if you are literally looking just for any lowball offer to dump this property. But the ironic part about it is most of the same people that are using this strategy also need that high sale price. They're stuck in the middle. So they're doing the exact wrong playbook. Number one is clean that house up and make it shine. Number two is we need to take amazing pictures. In 2025, everybody's shopping online. It's the first impression of your home. The pictures online are what drive the in-person viewings, which is what drives the offers. So it's our first key step. Now, something that's really important in a slower market is that the physical showing experience needs to match the marketing promise. And what I mean by that is if we do all this great work to make amazing photos, but then we show up and the home is underwhelming, or it's in rough condition, or it hasn't been properly cleaned and presented, the buyer's experience is going to go from being excited about the home to being disappointed. And that type of buyer never makes an offer. So it's important that the physical showing matches the expectations that were built by the media and the marketing. And then, hands down, the most important part of the process right now is nailing your asking price. The asking price is just an advertised price telling the buyers what your expectations are. So if you price the home too high, they're just going to swipe right by it online, thinking that you're way out of whack with the other homes in your neighborhood. If you price it just a little too high, buyers will come in for showings, but ultimately they won't feel like your home's a deal. So then they end up putting it on their wait and watch list, either waiting for you to drop your price or they're watching for some better deal to come on the market. Now, if you nail your price properly, the buyers come in, it looks like a good deal online, they come to the house, it meets their expectations, it's the best deal they've seen in the last month, and bam, you get one or maybe more offers on your home. This is the true playbook to get it sold quickly and potentially for more than it's even worth. Now, on the flip side, if you're a buyer in this market, you have all the power as long as you don't have this one little condition. And let me walk you through this. Number one, you have room to negotiate. Sellers are being more flexible and they understand that. Negotiations can happen on price, but also on moving dates and the conditions you need to include to protect yourself as a buyer. Buyers can be selective. We don't have to jump and feel like if I miss this home, there's never going to be another one. We can go and see a few homes, consider a few others, and then come back and make an offer on it. This is a much calmer market to be a buyer in. In this market as a buyer, you also have time to protect yourself on the financing side. In the hot market, including a condition of financing would almost get you put into a shredder pile with your offer if you were in multiple offer situation. But nowadays, it's completely common to ask for a 5, 7, or even 10-day financing period. That way, if you can't get the loan at the terms you like, you can back out of that deal rather than find yourself scrambling for some secondary loan right before closing date. So here's the thing. With all that information in mind, my number one piece of advice is that you want to start the planning process early. I get so many calls from people that have already actually tried to sell their home once and it didn't work. And now they're calling me, or they're calling me because they want to sell their home in a day or a week from now. And believe me, I have a plan to make that work. But the best plan ever is if we start talking 3 or even 6 months in advance of you wanting to sell your home. This is the best part of the process because we can put an entire plan in place on what needs to change on your home, what the perfect marketing timing is going to be like, and how do we coordinate this with the purchase of your next property. We'll get this whole plan in place, and then it's literally like pushing a boulder down a hill. If we do it the other way, the experience is more like trying to roll that same boulder up the hill. It's a lot more effort and there's a lot more ways it can go wrong. So, my number one piece of advice, if you're considering a move next year, is we start the planning process right now, here in 2025, so you're ready for the spring market. It first starts with a conversation, but then usually ends up in me coming out to see your home in person and providing you all that guidance. Listen, there's no obligation, there's no contracts to sign, there's nothing we even need to do this year. But the idea is we get the planning process started so that if these plans do develop in the new year, you're already way ahead of your competition. Well, I hope you found this video informative. The market is acting a little crazy again, but don't worry. You've got me on your side to analyze it and help you turn it into data you can use to make a successful move. If you want to get into the housing market or you see this as your time to make an upgrade over the next 3 to 6 months, all you need to do is reach out to me. All my information is right in the video below, and I can't wait to help you. Hope you're having an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next video.